JaCoby, man, every time I drive by the levees over on the river, I see you working out. And I realize that right now that you're having to become creative. You can't have the team functions there with Coach Moffitt. But I can tell everybody that's listening, every LSU fan, and if we got any coaches listening, JaCoby Stevens is on that levee every time I drive by it.
Yeah, it's something, God put it there for a reason, to hold the river and make athletes work out. So I mean, I'm just using just the things that I can use to get in shape because eventually the season's gonna start back up. We're gonna get through the pandemic, and I just want to be ready and always be prepared to get back into action.
So, JaCoby, you have that motivation. It's easy for you to get out of bed and go work on your craft. And I'm not saying that other people on the team don't, but are you making sure as a veteran leader that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing right now? So when you do
Right.
come back, you don't have to hit restart?
Exactly. I mean, we all hold each other accountable. I mean, Coach Moffa has a group. He made up a challenge where you get a certain amount of points for working out and all that. So and he put us in teams. So we got to take care of those teams and make sure we stay in shape. And we've been texting and motivating. I think I texted Damone a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of days ago, and I said that he needs to come work out with me in the morning because he's been waiting and laying in bed too late in the morning and going to work out in the afternoon. So I've been trying to get him up around 7:30 with me.
Hey, JaCoby, it's Gordy Rush. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little Bo Pelini. And I know you
Okay.
only got one chapter of probably the Bo Pelini playbook before we were all interrupted. But if you would, with Dave Aranda, you got a lot of, cover one, and you got some quarters involved. What similarities do you see with Coach Pelini, and what things are going to be a little different?
One similarity that I know, like just with Coach Pelini walking in, is that he's going to adjust his playbook. He's going to put his players in certain places to be successful. It's not a system where players have to adjust to his playbook, or whereas he's going to adjust to his players, and he's going to just like Coach Rand is really good at it. Coach Pelini is really good at it too, and he's going to put his certain players that he feels fit to make plays on the field.
JaCoby, one thing that always stands out about my time with Coach Pelini when we were here together and he was our defensive coordinator was he always liked to have an aggressive safety that he would bring from multiple places on the field to blitz the quarterback. And I'm just telling you, I'm sure he's going to tell you as well. Just go back and watch what he did with LaRon Landry and the way LaRon Landry used to do quarterbacks because I see you in that same mold. I see you being that aggressive safety, but I know talking to Bo the other day, he's got plans for you to kind of play all over the place. Is that what you're expecting this year?
Oh yeah, I mean, whatever I got to do for the to help the team. But I mean, it's something that I've always done. I did it last year, going all over the field. I mean, when I talk to people today, they actually what position I play and where do I line up and all that stuff. But I mean, it's simple once you know football and you know the playbook. You just got to trust the coaches that they're gonna, like I said, put you in the right spot and to study the team that you're going against, and that's how you have the ability and the capability to play in different spots on the field.
JaCoby Stevens, our guest here on Hanging with Hester. JaCoby, you made the decision to come back to school. You were a guy that probably, you come out, you get drafted there, but you wanted to come back for your senior season. You and I have talked about that before. What went into that decision to come back to LSU?
For me, I just wasn't done with LSU yet. I enjoyed the experiences that I had, the first 3 years, but I just wasn't done with college. I enjoyed the college experience. I love playing in Tiger Stadium, and I love playing in front of the Tiger fans. And like I said, I just wasn't done. And you never get these years back. And I feel like this year for me is be a great year to prove some doubters wrong and also cement my legacy in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All right, JaCoby, fine. The question I think everybody wants to know, what are you doing with your free time? Ryan Clark is binge watching The Office and tweeting about it. People are watching The Tiger King. My kids are playing Fortnite. What is it that you're actually doing right now?
Well, so right now, other than working out and looking at the past football games 5 times a day, I have my two dogs, Max and Troy, that I play with and take them to the field and run around and kind of burn energy. So I'm out and about doing something every day.
All right, now don't lie, JaCoby. I know you've had to rewatch at least 2 or 3 of the LSU games because I think I've watched almost every game outside of I think Northwestern State and Utah State. I've watched every game already multiple times. Have you gone back and watched, the SEC championship game, the semifinal, the final, the Alabama game? You've got a lot to choose from.
Oh, right. I have 15 of them. But matter of fact, I watched a Northwestern game this morning actually. But I'm pretty sure that I went through the season maybe 7 or 8 times already.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here with my iPad and sometimes I like to get a pro game and I watch certain guys, and then I always find my way back to last year.
Hey, when you watch those games and you rewatch them and you see some of the guys that are going to be on this defense and be on this team with you this year, do you sit there and watch and say, you know what, that's a guy that can step up. That's a guy that can be a leader. That's a guy that might not have played a ton last year, but he played enough. He got that experience, and we're expecting a lot from him in this upcoming season.
Right. I mean, when I watch it and I see Damone Clark get in the game and lay somebody out against Northwestern, or he makes a tackle for loss or make a sack, I get excited. When I see Tyler Shelvin clog up the middle and just knowing now in the 4-3 he's going to be unleashed, I get excited. I mean, even watching Cordell, I mean, there's so many guys that I can name that they didn't have a bigger role last year just because of all the talent we had on the field last year. Their roles are going to be expanded this year, and I'm just excited for them. I can't wait to see.
All right, JaCoby Stevens is our guest here on Hang with Hester. We've got a couple more minutes with him. Hey, when you look across the ball and you see so much talent coming back on the offense, I know you lose a lot, but you also have the Biletnikoff award-winning Jamar Chase coming back. You have Terrace Marshall. You have Racy McMath. You have a group of running backs there that at the end of the season you saw there because Clyde had that injury. Chris Curry step up when he had to. What do you like from that group, and what's it going to be like going against those guys every day?
Oh, man, my expectations are still high, just like everybody else's. I mean, like you said, we have all those guys returning. Chris Curry can prove that he can play, and Tyler Davis-Price, he can play, and also John Emery. So we have weapons all over the place, and going against those guys in spring and in practice is always fun. There was a Instagram photo Chris posted saying that the most trash is talking during practice, and that's so true. I commented and I said, I don't know when me and Jamar Chase don't say anything to each other during the practice. Me and Jamar go back and forth, and like I don't cover him because he's on the outside playing X, but if they get a good play on him or we tackle him for 5 yards, trust me, I'm there giving Jamar an earful.
Oh, those are the fun stories. Hey, before we let you go, I know we've talked about Bo Pelini, but I've got to know like the first meeting you had with him because Bo's going to bring energy to any room that he walks in. Even when we had him on the phone the other day, like everybody sat up in their chair here in studio because like Bo just has that about him. Is that something you noticed from day one?
Not day one. He kind of came in and I guess he was filling us out. But there was one day where we weren't living up to our standard, and Coach Pelini let us have it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like anything like Coach Aranda we used to do. Coach Aranda would kind of talk to us and all that, but Bo Pelini kind of he ripped us another one, and it was much needed.
All right, JaCoby, would you be open? Last question here. Would you be open to maybe switching to a double-digit number?
A double-digit number?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that out there. At some point
it had to come
next
up.
season, would you be open to switching to a double-digit number?
If Jacob Hester asked me to, of course.
Okay, fair enough. That's the only answer that I need. Hey, there he is, JaCoby Stevens, all-SEC defender, multiple SEC Player of the Week last year on that national championship team. Looking forward to watching you play next year, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.